is a displacement walk.
We walk from The Hague to Rotterdam, 2 days and 10 hours.
Reaching the limits of exhaustion in a gesture that attempts to seek empathy and attunement. MmRMUR is an episode from the Humane Methods saga. It's an episode where there are 3 characters: the deer, the efficient, and the shadow. In this walk, these 3 characters look at how the changes in ecosystem force animals and also other humans to displacement. They come to visit the worlds where humans are living today and see the status of the world. We are living in a world of great friction, contrast, polarization, where it's also difficult to find nuances. We humans, we lost this familiarity with walking. Walking from this one city to another one doesn't happen every day. It's such a powerful and significant act to observe and capture and sense what is around. You see things differently by walking.
For this performance, MmRMUR, I was mostly the tech person behind. It's challenging to film 5 hours straight on streaming, and the camera people will follow all the movement and they follow this path with them.
The deer is the main character of this piece. A female human body with male antlers. A queer hybrid between human and animal.
The communication of the deer happens by gaze, by posture, by speed, by resting, by squatting, by becoming posing sometimes.
The deer behaves like a deer, so it's basically minding its own business, but also owning the space.
It's a strong character because it is very much aware of its own vulnerability and rather uses it to sense the world around.
The master of ceremony is there in the service of the deer, but it is not a slave. It is a master of ceremony. It just has to be there to make sure that the deer has everything it needs and also to exploit the energy and the power that the deer radiates in order to engage with other character or with general public.
The audience that we may encounter by the side of this tall shadow singing, the red costume of the officiant, the antlers of the deer. They may be puzzled at first, but then they are offered a moment of almost contemplative being together.
When you are confronted with that, you have to take a decision. Maybe you want to play stupid and make some weird sound. Maybe you want to take advantage of the situation somehow. So the choice that you make when you're confronted with that character on the street is already an act of care. And then the shadow is the shadow of the deer. It's sort of follow it, but also calling to it when the deer maybe is driving too far away. The shadow is the only one who can use its voice. It sings throughout this performance, marking the rhythm of the pilgrimage.
I use the voice as the shadow, both as a tool of exploration and also as a way of interacting with the landscape and the soundscape and other beings that we encounter. There are certain sounds that come out of me when I feel disconnected from the deer, or if there is a sense of uncertainty or potential danger or discomfort. And these sounds serve as a kind of call to retune into my being.
In our Western societies, there is this sense of perennial crisis. Murmur, in this sense, is a very tangible and very material and corporeal way to engage with the imagination of a different way of being. It's about finding other ways of caring for oneself and for others, but also find ways to accept the other, independently from how alien it may seem.